Welcome to the worst morning edition. I feel like I need to speak in an AM radio voice right now because it's 9 in the morning.
It's a little sleepy up in here.
Yeah, it's a little sleepy up in here, so let's wake it up. All right. So worst with Chad Austin. I have my guest. He drove in from the desert. This is my best friend. This is the best man at my wedding.
Yeah.
This is my man. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself really quick.
Nolan Lowlife, rapper, trapper, restaurant guy.
I like how it goes. It's like I'm hard. I also serve tables.
I fuck you, man. Mega resorts, specialty dining, fine dining. And then, my name's Rod. Party.
I also party.
No, Kevin, you don't party.
No, but it's funny because like there are two definitely different sides to you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the side that everybody who knows you knows, which is like the what I feel like is the authentic Kyle or Nolan.
Yeah.
And then there's the work side, where you are like the most like, well, how you doing, sir? It's almost like you have to put on Dave Chappelle's like white guy voice,
right?
You know?
Yeah, it's like it's corporate Kyle.
Corporate Kyle.
It depends where you know me from too. Like if somebody calls me Kyle, it's like you don't know me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know me,
like,
yeah.
You're not the homie if it's Kyle. My mom doesn't call me that. My lady doesn't call me that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, yeah.
If you know me, I automatically they're like, "Hey, Kyle." I'm yes, sir.
It was always funny to me that like your mom like transitioned into like calling you Nolan after like all those years of us hanging out on the porch.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So welcome. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. We'll start this off with a little bit of chit chat. And basically what I've been, you and I, out of everybody I've had on this show, have kept in contact the most via like over quarantine.
Yeah.
There has been, there was like early quarantine hangs in Big Bear.
Yeah, dude.
Which is, I think, where like really where mine and Shylight's show started was when we were hanging out up there. It was just like, we should, do something.
Right.
Listen to the Dirty Dozens on stereo every Wednesday, except for the last 3 weeks because I can't get my shit together.
Yeah. We had a stereo.
Yeah, and you and
show
I,
too.
Yeah, you and I had a stereo show for a little while. It was called Dark White.
It was pretty tight.
It was fun, but work gets in the way. So now you're out here doing the big show. This is
fuck yeah.
This is the big show for me. This is where all the.
Yeah, I was on Death of the Podcast a couple times too.
Death of the Party, yes.
Oh fuck
Death of the Podcast.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine because that was the old show. So I mean, for anybody who just started listening, I had a different podcast that was strictly about like service industry.
Yeah, and
it sucked. Like, I mean, it didn't suck, but it was just like it got to the point where it was just like I cannot talk about only bartending and only waiting tables for an hour every week.
It got kind of AB.
Yeah.
You're like, so, like, tell me something gnarly that happened to your bar. Like, no way. This one time at my bar. It's like, we get it, bro.
I mean, sure, there's because it's taken up such a big part of my life, there's a lot of my stories that happen to be in a bar, but, like, it's, I'm glad to be able to branch out and talk about like stupid news stories and talk about like the things that the worst parts about people's childhood and shit like that. And, it's little like these little questions that, they just bring out. I mean, the things that people have been able to tell me, like embarrassing shit.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's crazy as your homie and as like a diehard listener, like you talk about my dad a lot.
I do, because he was like my dad.
Yeah, and like it's crazy because I'm thinking like dude, that dude was the fucking man, and like I think about because you have him built as like such like a legend.
He kind of was.
He was, dude. And then like it's crazy because you're talking about me and my dad, and I'm listening to, because I listen to like podcasts pretty heavy. Like I travel for work, like
Yeah.
like an hour and a half a day.
Yeah. So you
like
just
I just
you
put
have
it in
it
the
on.
whip,
Yeah.
And then it's just like, holy shit, like I forget that you're my homie sometimes, because it's like a good like open form like format, like these people are talking, and you start talking about this guy, and it's like, holy shit, that's my dad.
Oh yeah, so anybody listening, the Navy SEAL that I speak about, the one that used to tell us wild ass stories when we were 15, things that 15-year-olds should never hear and probably gave us nightmares at the time.
Yeah.
That's this man's father.
Yeah,
This man's father,
OG Gator Tater, bro.
This man's father used to haunt us with stories of just slaughtering villages when we were 15 after he got too drunk off of vodka and Diet Coke.
Right. Yeah, my dad, dude, fucking shot 5 times, broke 27 bones, including his back. Navy SEAL, 5th level Kung Fu black belt. It sounds like Big Fish.
It does. It really does.
Like bullshit.
It sounds like Big Fish, but it's
but
like.
Then I have like proof for all these
things. Yeah.
Then
there's moments in time where you're with him and you see like that power reenacted. Yeah. And like one of my favorite stories is the one where he took you driving. It was like Super Bowl halftime, right?
Oh, that's a real story, bro.
He took you driving Super Bowl halftime, and you got pulled over.
13 years old.
13 years. Here, please tell the story.
All right, so it was. My dad taught us how to drive every Sunday. We knew between the day games and the night game, there's like a couple hours. All right, he had like a Regal. Like a Regal Grand Sport or something like that. Pretty pimp little car. He's like, all right, kids, we go. It was myself and my stepsister, who's wild as fuck too. And so we got in the car, and my dad was shit drunk by this time already. And he had like a 32, like an AM PM cup with Diet Coke and vodka. Or Diet Sprite and vodka if it was summertime. But I mean, a huge 32 ounce. And we're in Bermuda Dunes. Shout out to the Bermuda Dunes. I'm going up 41st, and there's 2-lane road. Nobody else to look at. A black and white's coming this way. And just the worst thing to do was just look at him dead in the face. So, of course, he flips the bitch, lights me up.
Because you look guilty.
And I'm 13.
Yeah.
What am I
doing?
You're
a deer in headlights.
Driving a car at 13.
Yeah, you're a deer in headlights. You saw a cop and you froze.
Yeah, dude. And so, of course, he pulls us over. My dad slides his big-ass drink to my sister, who's sitting in the back seat. And he's like, yo, as soon as I get out this motherfucker, you gotta pour this thing out. And she's like, for sure, got you. So this is one of many times that my dad gets out of the car shit drunk, does a field sobriety test, probably fails it. I'm sitting there, another black and white comes and parks behind us, and then a tow truck. And I still haven't spoken to my dad. I'm still in the driver's seat, just tripping. And then the tow truck drives away. The second cop car pulls up next to ours. My dad tells me to get out of the driver's seat, go in the back seat. He goes into the passenger seat. The cop gets in and drives us home. I was like, what just happened, dude? Dude, and like my dad, he had some kind of like black bar on his name from like some weird federal shit, like almost like some like diplomatic immunity or something like that, because he flicked a cigarette butt, got pulled over for littering. He lit the fucking ticket on fire and threw it out the window. He was like, oh, littering? He's like, that's not littering, this is littering. Lights the ticket on fire and tells the cop to go fuck himself. And nothing ever happened. Never went to jury duty, nothing, bro.
No, I know. I mean, and that's like, that was like the wild thing too. It was just like, so your dad in his time in the military did some shit.
Yeah.
where it was just like, you pass go forever.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
And that's just wild. But, you talking about driving when you weren't supposed to reminds me of the story about the time that I got caught driving when I wasn't supposed to. Do you remember this?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was 16 and I should have had a license, but I didn't because procrastinate, and never went to go. But, my pops used to let me take his car all the time. Just do random, like, oh, hey, I'm going to run to the grocery store or something. So my parents go out of town. They take my little sister to Disneyland, and I'm 16, and I have a job. I'm working. Just whatever. Just feel like king shit.
Already dropped out of high school.
Not dropped out. I was doing homeschool.
Okay,
but hey, I got my diploma. I didn't drop out.
I mean, you didn't have
dick.
anywhere to be.
Yeah, I didn't have anywhere to be. Exactly. I didn't have to go to school during the day. I just worked, and so I go out. And I'll never forget it because, like, the reason I went out was so fucking stupid. I was like, I'm going to go get food, and then I'm going to go to Walmart and buy the Hulk DVD. And to this day, I'm upset with myself because the movie was fucking terrible. And I shouldn't.
The Edward Norton one?
No, it was the very first one. I don't even remember who it was. I think it was Eric Bana. But okay, so I'm driving home and we're going like 60 miles. I'm going like 60 miles an hour in like a 45, and I just whoop, whoop, and I get pulled over, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
I'm sweating because I was like, I don't have a license. It's a motorcycle cop. He comes up behind me, and he walks up to the window, and he's like, can I have your license and registration? And I was like, well, sir, I don't have a license, but here's the registration to my father's vehicle. And so he goes back and he runs it. And then he comes back and he starts yelling at me. He's all, "You don't even have a license." And I was like, that's exactly what I told you. I said, I don't have a license. He goes, well, I thought you just meant that you don't have it with you. I was like, well, I said exactly what I meant. Like, yeah. I didn't, and he's like, well, and then sure enough, a car pulls up, and then the tow truck.
Oh, God.
And I was like, fuck, dude. And so he gets me out of the car and he goes, all right, now, do you have any guns, drugs, knives, blah, 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 in the car that I should know about before I search it? And I was like, no, man, not at all. No, why would I have any of that stuff in here? Totally forgetting that the night before I had gone to a poker game and I won this fucking katana off somebody. I remember, it was a straight up samurai sword. Yeah. And I had it wedged in the front seat. So this fool, the very first thing he does is I get out of the car and he just reaches over and just grabs this sword and pulls it out and unsheaths it, and he goes, don't have any knives, weapons.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I mean,
it's like,
dude, I was like, it's decorative. Or
would anybody actually use that?
I was like, it's decorative, right? And he's like, no, this is a weapon. I was like, well, can I just say that I forgot about it? Like, I've only owned it since last night at a poker game.
Yeah.
And he goes,
and he's drinking, smoking, fucking. He's like, what?
And he goes, he's like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 16. He goes, where are you playing poker? I was like, fuck, dude, I'm just digging myself a hole. Yeah. I am literally I'm just standing there going like this.
Right.
And so he calls it. So the other cop shows up. They handcuff me. And I was like, all right, this is a little overboard. But they handcuffed me. They put me in the back of the car. The thing was they drove me home. Like, I didn't go to jail or anything. They drove me home.
Yeah.
And I just remember getting out of the car and the lady unhandcuffing me and then handing me my like bag of fast food that I went out to pick up.
Yeah.
And she's like, have a good day. Tell your father that he can pick up his car at blah, blah, blah impound. I was like, oh shit. So I call my dad. I call my mom because I knew I shouldn't call my dad. And I call my mom and I go, hey, so dad's car just got impounded. And all I hear on the phone is, oh my God, Chad, what did you do? Oh my God. And then in the background, because she just told my dad, I can hear him in the background just like, way away from it's like, fucking motherfucker. And and he's just screaming obscenities. And my mom goes, Chad, you should get out of town for a few days.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. She's like, you should get out of town for a few days because your dad's really upset. So I called my cousin and we went to San Diego for 3 days. I got all my shifts covered at work and shit.
You're responsible, cousin.
Yeah. God, that guy's a piece of shit. But yeah, so we went to San Diego for 3 days for my dad to cool off. But then it ended up being that with the ticket and the impound fees, I ended up, that little joyride cost me about $2,500.
Yeah, and he wasn't gonna pay it.
Oh no! I mean, he paid it up front.
Oh, of course.
He paid it up front because I didn't have the money. I was 16 years old.
Yeah,
I had
we had the jobs that he gave us.
Yeah, exactly. We had the jobs that he gave us at his restaurant.
Yeah,
and so I was just like, fuck it. Like, all right, here, I owe you money every month. I'm fucking.
No,
I'm a piece of shit.
I can remember.
Go. Oh, and then I wasn't allowed. After that, I wasn't allowed to get my license until I was 18.
Yeah,
which was bullshit.
2 times,
and I still drove a lot.
I shouldn't have been driving your parents' vehicles. Once was when we were gonna road dog it to Incubus and my 1988 pickup truck that would have never made it.
It was the little engine that couldn't.
Yeah, would never have made it. And then I think again your parents were at Disneyland because they heavy go to Disneyland, and we walked out and the Explorer was there. I was like, yo, son, you know where the keys are? I'm like, fuck yeah.
No, I think that was when my parents went to San Francisco without me.
Oh, yeah.
They did a lot of things without me.
So we dipped to Orange County. We did have permission, though.
Yeah. No, I called and asked.
But the way that things turned out, remember we had to come back at sunrise because we weren't welcome to stay.
Oh, yeah. We got kicked out of that house.
Kicked out of the house. And then we got back at sunrise. And then the second time, I think it was before that, around the same time, it was your mom's Escalade when we went to Sevilla.
Oh yeah.
And then homegirl tried to use her fake ID
to get in the club,
even though she was old enough to get into the 18 and older club.
It was ridiculous.
And then, dude, because we were pre-gaming like a motherfucker.
Yeah, we were just drinking in the parking lot.
Yeah, so like we were drinking in the parking lot, and I took like 4 fucking Viking, and I drank like a pint of vodka in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was go time.
It was go time. And then I was already in the club, bro. Like, my ID checked out, and I was old enough to drink. We could have just bought the girls drinks.
I know.
So I remember her trying to like take fake contacts out of her eyes because the eye color didn't match her fake ID and shit, and it just didn't work. So you're like, all right, we're bouncing. I'm like, what? Because of her, bro? He's like, yeah, we're bouncing. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, we at least got to go to Denny's. Because like I'm too turned, like nobody can drive.
And basically we were just hammered drunk at Denny's, just eating greasy ass food and just trying to sober up so we could drive my mom's. And that was one thing about my dad is he always bought cars he couldn't afford.
But they were dope.
They were dope cars because he wanted to look like he had money, but he always that was like the most white trash, like hood rich ass shit my dad would do was he would always buy fancy ass cars that he couldn't afford that eventually would get repoed.
Yo, what color did he say? Quartz blue?
Oh yeah, his purple Mercedes. Yeah, it was quartz blue.
Yeah. He let me.
I'm not gay. I'm like, it's not gay.
Purple.
It's not gay to have a purple car,
like,
Dad.
No,
I'm not gay.
That's just pimp, and he had some 18s on there. He was flexing, dude.
Yeah, no, he flexed a little too hard.
And then he let me take that shit downtown a couple times.
No, yeah.
It drove nice. Yacht Rock in the CD changer, and I didn't know how to change it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if you didn't want to listen to Michael McDonald, who the fuck do you think you are, sir? Yeah. It's the Doobie Brothers for life. Steely Dan.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, man. All right, so I want to get into I found a couple fun news stories while I was sitting out in the car waiting for you. Yeah. One of them is, so I guess Netflix has a new show coming out, or maybe it's already premiered, I'm not sure, but it's, Netflix debuts bizarre new dating show called Sexy Beasts. Basically, these people are made up to be furries.
Oh, gosh.
And then it's a blind date between two furries. And it's a show that's going to be on Netflix, or it's already on Netflix, and it premiered on the BBC. So British as fuck. Yeah. And yeah, dude, like these people get like made up to look like dolphins and foxes, and I mean, just imagine being like, I just imagine being so desperate to find a date where you're just like, yeah, dude, I'll spend 5 hours in costuming.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and then also, if you were that desperate, what animal would you be?
Would I be?
Yeah, what animal would you be? If you got to choose, I don't know if these people get to choose, but if you got to choose, be like, hey, this animal really represents who I am, what animal would you be?
A great white shark.
Great white shark? That'd be a really hard one to do, I feel like. But
Yeah.
I guess they I mean, they did a dolphin. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, but
look at how creepy that dolphin is.
oh my God. Holy shit. So that's not exactly a furry, though, because, like, furries are an embodiment.
See, that's a furry.
That's more like it. Yeah.
No.
But it's how they feel that, like, their spirit animal is.
No, fuck off. Furries are people that have kinky, weird sex. It's not about, like, some weird spiritual thing.
Yeah, I know a girl who is a very good artist, and she makes renditions of people's dream furry. He's like, I want, like, huge tits and a big old dick and
huge tits and a big old dick.
Yeah, and, like, I mean, it's really weird. And,
that
like,
should be the name of your next song.
I've heard
huge tits and a big old dick.
Yeah, it sounds like a Combat Carl song. That the like furry conventions, they have, like, life-size, like, cat boxes.
Oh,
where they, like, defecate and urinate.
I just feel like the costumes are too restrictive to actually be able to do that.
Nah, that's the one thing they can do.
Oh, they have easy access to the pooper.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I mean, I've never seen a furry in person except for Joey Bernardo, but we call him a furry, but he's really not. But no, I didn't know that was, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
because like I was just talking about, all it is a freaky, kinky sex thing. So the fact that
but I would think that these people on the
accessible
show are fronting. I think they're, like, desperate and they're like, oh, I'm willing to be dressed up like this thing. And then is there, like, an unmasking? Is it like the Masked Singer? We're like, she's
it's like you picked.
She's actually pretty banging under the dolphin face, or
it's Norm Macdonald.
No. I know, because furries have no problem finding each other. There's, like, conventions where it gets, like, real nasty.
No, yeah, dude, there's a convention for everything nowadays. Yeah, and I mean, just, hey, find your kink, be happy with it.
But that's dope. I'm glad that they're getting
that representation on television.
Play, yeah.
It's like everybody needs to be represented. Okay, so this one's kind of wild. Ikea, famous for furniture that's extremely difficult to build. They are under fire for you know how Ikea has a food menu.
Yeah, I heard they have meatballs that are, like,
I think he already knows the story.
Swedish meatballs.
Yeah. They like Swedish meatballs, and, like, they do, like, pizza and bullshit. So Ikea is under fire for a menu they put out on Juneteenth. Of fried chicken and watermelon.
What?
Yeah. And it says that it was at an Atlanta store.
Jeez.
And then the Atlanta store employees say that the menu is racially insensitive and none of the people who created it were black. Now, here's the thing. Ikea, Swedish, right?
Yeah.
Now, do the people? Now, I just want to know if these are American people that are making the decisions, because if so, it's really fucked. But if it's Swedish people, I don't know if they had any malintent. I mean,
that's what I'm thinking too.
Because I just feel like they don't really understand any part of our culture. They're just like, we make the furniture.
Yeah,
we make the furniture, and we make the meatballs.
And then they Googled it,
and
they're trying to be inclusive.
But I feel like that all their stores in America probably have some kind of CEO or somebody that's stateside, that's maybe been here for a while, that's just like, oh, maybe just maybe we shouldn't put this menu out as our Juneteenth menu. Maybe we shouldn't base our menu off of, like, these what are they, the Mamie dolls? Where it's just like the little baby holding the watermelon and shit. It's like, maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna go off and say all that aside, both of those are fucking delicious items to eat. And
I enjoy them thoroughly.
I don't give a fuck. And
we have the fried chicken. It's watermelon.
yeah, no, but that is not cool. I will say, A, it's not cool, but B, those things are enjoyed by all.
One bite is crispy, the other bite is refreshing. It's very good. Okay, so that is, I mean, I couldn't really find any fun news stories except for, I mean, there's some shit that we could talk about that. I mean, did you so you saw that solo show that I did, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about with somebody was that Indian wedding.
Oh yeah, I'm totally down.
Because that shit was still just like mind blowing to me. The fact that like, I mean, MVP goes to the sister. Okay, so for anybody that doesn't know, that didn't watch the solo show, and I don't blame you for not watching the solo show, was an Indian wedding was taking place, right? And it was supposed to be this one man and this one woman, as you know, weddings are. And if you don't know, Indian weddings are like 3 to 5 days long, and they are like the most extravagant things where you ride in on fucking animals. Yeah, and there's like 30 costume changes.
Right.
And, I mean, it's ceremony on top of ceremony on top of ceremony.
Yeah.
So this dude's wife, right before she becomes his wife, his bride to be, she has a heart attack and dies
from all the stress,
the altar,
bro.
At the altar, she dies. But fucking Enrique Iglesias, "I Could Be Your Hero, Baby" starts playing, and the sister just runs up and be like, "Switch places." So then he marries her sister, with her body still just laying there, like
older or younger?
Younger, I believe.
Upgrade,
but like her body is still just laying there, and it's just like, hey. You know, you only met my sister 2 days ago anyways. What the fuck difference does it make?
It's all just an arranged marriage anyways, right? He probably didn't know homegirl that was dead anyways.
No. So, like, from what I understand with Indian marriages is that you meet them once and then they meet your family once. If it's an arranged marriage, which most of them are. You meet them once, then they meet your family once, and then there's the wedding.
Okay, but they have to be balling, right? Like,
oh, well, yeah, that's the thing is like, there's usually especially if it's going to be the extravagant wedding. Mm-hmm. Both families.
It has to be mutually beneficial.
They got the comeuppance.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
He has cows and homeboy has like a slaughterhouse or something. Or like,
it's like
dude, this whole we got each other. Sounds like 9th Roxbury.
Dude, I was just about to say that. I was like, you sell lamps and I sell plants. Plant and lamp store. It's gonna be the best.
In the wedding, remember?
Yeah.
He peels off and then his best man steps up and gets married.
Yeah. He's like, "My name's Cliff. I have 2% body fat."
He's like, "As your best man, I'm here to hold you down," or whatever. So like, he just steps right in and gets married for him, anyways.
Yeah, dude. But like, I mean, do you have any other? Because I know I talked about this for like 10 minutes the other day. But do you have any other things like to bring to that? Because I saw a lot of people upset on the internet that the guy just went and boom married the sister. But I mean, it was an arranged marriage. Like, why does it matter?
It doesn't. And I think
he was marrying a family, basically. You know,
a family, and culturally, like that's what they do. And as you said before, like there's already this huge investment and this huge production is already underway. It doesn't have to do with romance or personal connection. Like, this is a business transaction. So like I think the beat goes on, you know?
No, yeah, it really does.
And I think it just has to do with that. I mean, that sucks, but I also don't think that's okay. I mean, like, I've dated girls that were definitely subpar and I didn't fucking like them. And I like to have a say in that. And, you know, it's 2021. That poor girl, you know, like, she doesn't have
which
a say.
One? Which one? The one that died or the one that just jumped
to the one that died, too. But, like, that, you know, it probably wasn't that chick's fucking... She didn't buck up. She was just
she was just being poked in the back by her dad.
She was just the next one led to the fucking selling block.
No, yeah.
She did not Enrique Iglesias, dog. She wasn't like, oh, I got this. Back up, everybody. No, her dad was like, bitch, you already know what time it is. She's dead. Like, get your act together. Like, don't disgrace my family.
My daughter died. It's sad.
No, I'll fucking kill you.
Do you know how much money I spent on this wedding?
Do not disgrace my family. You take the dress off the dead girl and shit.
That would be so fucking cold. She's like, yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me just.
That's wild.
Okay, so one thing I just realized was when we first started this, I was going to talk to you about your quarantine time.
Okay.
And then we just got into a conversation about your dad, but no, seriously, like it's because I mean everybody has had like different. We spent a year doing fuck all. Man. Like how I've had people that they turned it into a great success where they completely pivoted their jobs and now they're the most fucking successful at doing something else, and then I've had people that are literally just fucking did nothing, and but how was yours? What did you do?
It was terrible.
Yeah.
You know this.
I know. I'm just leading you into telling
me.
I know.
Fuck, dude. At first, I was like, you know what? Because it was going to be like a couple months, right? It was going to be like 90 days or something. Then you go back to work.
It was supposed to be 2 weeks at first.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Weeks.
Word. So at 2 weeks, I was like, you know what? I've worked so hard since I was 16 years old. And I've had a job or two. And I've never been a fucking deadbeat. And Papa Bear is going to take a vacation. That's what I thought. I was like, I didn't even know if my unemployment was going to come in or anything. I had some chips, you know what I'm saying? Like, wasn't broke. And I was just like...
Laser Ruffles.
Huh? Oh, man. I'm a Doritos guy, man.
All right.
Cool Ranch or bust.
I like to stick with the plain potato chip.
It's
classic.
Yeah. No, you're not.
All right, anyways, about your chips.
You gotta have dip with those. So I was doing okay. So I wanted to do nothing.
Okay.
And then this is also like right after Friday the 13th, where like they thought if you're gonna go to Walmart, you're gonna fucking die. You know what I'm saying? Like this is when like masked up, double gloved up, like really on some like apocalyptic shit. Like where I went and
like every shelf was bare. And,
like,
I know it was wild.
I was copping stuff we don't eat just because I knew it wasn't perishable. I got like a bunch of tuna fish. I got like 5 pounds of fucking grits. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, if we need to hunker down, we're gonna hunker down. So we were essentially fostering 3 other children.
Which is just fucking insane to me. I can barely handle the one I have and keeping her alive.
Right.
And you took somebody else's kids in.
3 other kids. I only have one. If I was a multiple child family already, it probably would have been an easier transition, but I only have one child. And I pour all of myself into him. He's my prince. These children are not my blood. Right? Like they're my sister's boyfriend's sister's children.
That is some white trash ass shit.
You feel me? And like so
sister's boyfriend, sister's kids.
Yeah, so like they had nothing, and it's not their fault, bro. It's not their fault. So I felt like a guest in my own home, dude. I really did. And like they were still doing distance learning. So imagine like 4 fucking computers in every room, 3 bedrooms, all occupied by a child and the living room. I have to put headphones on to listen to my own phone in my own home in the middle of the day.
Yeah, because you're just surrounded by it.
Yeah. And so like I felt like they called me the warden because you hear my flip-flops. Hope you're doing what you're supposed to in there. Stop eating your boogers. Get your hand out of your pants. They're 4 boys, and boys are fucking disgusting, bro.
Yeah.
And they're 6, 6, 7, and 8. And there's, I'm gonna say, baby's kids, bro. It's not like they're fucking all,
No, yeah.
I'm gonna say it's not their fucking fault, bro.
Well, they're wild because of
wild, dude.
Their upbringing.
Exactly right. So, I was the cook. That's basically my shit, bro. Like I was like the cook and the maid, dog. Like that's what kept me sane. Is I would cook like 3 meals a day, and their mom would come, and like take 1 or 2 home, but we'd always have.
She never took all 3 home.
No.
She's like, fuck them kids.
So, yeah, Bernie Mac. He's like, fuck the kids. Yeah. So I'm like starting to lose it, dude. I'm starting to lose it. And then in the time that was used for my family, it's not being utilized on, the raising the village. And my lady and I started to spend less time with one another. Like, she'd be sleeping with the kids in the living room or something, then I'd go to sleep in my bed because I don't want to be fucking bothered.
Yeah.
But then, like, I would get frustrated, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, hey, man, what's up, girl? I'm trying to, like, get it in or something. She's like, is that all you think about? I'm like, no, what the fuck? Like, I've been here all day, bro.
I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But just like opportunistically is when, like when I hit her up, when all the kids are finally asleep.
When you have a house full of kids, you have to try it at that moment. It doesn't matter how exhausted you are. It's just like,
you gotta swing.
I mean, our homie that I used to work with, KB's.
Oh shit!
He told me a story because he has 3 boys. That one day they were all outside playing, and him and his lady went into their pantry where they keep all their snacks, and they fucked in there because it is so hard to find a place or a quiet time or anything like that when you have children running around fucking everywhere. But they're not fucking everywhere. They're just running out. Yeah. They're just running around everywhere. When you have children running around everywhere, you can't, like, it's almost impossible.
Homie,
it's like they have that fucking radar where they're just like, oh, it's time to cock block dad.
Bet. But times 4.
Yeah.
I only had one to worry about previously. I can navigate that. But now there's one in every single room that aren't even my seeds. What the fuck?
Dude, getting cock blocked by other people's children?
Oh my god. The thought of it, right? And then things got worse, and I started noticing that we were like passive aggressively like War of the Roses type shit. Like, it was like, fuck that. I cook every single thing. I'm not gonna mop these motherfucking floors no more. And then I noticed she was probably on the same tip. And then when I hit her up about it, I was like, yo, you ain't mopped the floor in 4 weeks. She said 6 weeks.
Damn, like that.
I said, what the fuck? You been keeping track? She's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, that's worse. Right? So little things like that started building and building and building until there was a breaking point where I was just like, yo, I don't want this to be catastrophic. So, like, I'm going to dip. She's like, are we breaking up? I was like, that's up to you. But I have to bounce because I'm not happy here. And so, like, I came out here to LA.
Yeah.
I fucked with you a little bit, but, like, shot a music video. Drank a lot, wrote a lot of music. And then...
You're out here for about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she even came and visited and then went back home. Like, came and got a hotel and... Like, we were talking things out, and then it ended up, like, we're, like, on a break.
Yeah.
Which was devastating, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my queen. I fucking love her, and that's my baby mama, all that. But within the quarantine, and with the additive of all this stress of we have to be stuck in this... I mean, my house isn't too small. But it gets a lot smaller when there's
you
chaos.
Can't leave. And when you can't leave and there's chaos.
Yeah. And so it was really gnarly, dude. And then she ended up having a falling out with those children's mother, right? So then the kids were gone. And then she's like, but about all that bullshit, we're still not good, bro. I was like, yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah,
you know? And so she ended up getting an apartment like 6 minutes away.
She's just right down the street.
Right down the street. And then my son was none the wiser. He knows there's like a mom's house and dad's house.
Yeah.
And then the
But really, was he none the? I mean, because like if you go from like mom and dad have lived together since I was born to now there's a mom's house and a dad's house. Did he not ask questions?
He didn't really, and he was 6, bro. I mean, he's still a baby.
But still, dude. Like, I mean, I feel like I don't know. Yeah, like I'm trying to get into a mind of a 6-year-old, but really all he probably cares about is like Fortnite and shit.
Facts.
Okay, yeah, never mind. I'm thinking way too much into this as an adult, being like, I would notice that my parents used to live together, now they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was ready to field them.
Yeah.
And I was ready to try to explain it as you have to do a child. You know what I mean? It's like, not that mommy and dad don't love each other anymore. Da 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 da. When Christmas was awkward. Yeah, because like that's when we were the furthest apart, I'll say. And we still got each other a bunch of gifts, and her parents came over, my mom and my siblings came over, and we had a nice Christmas together.
Okay.
But on Christmas, they were out of state.
Yeah.
And which was really weird.
Yeah, because your son wasn't here either, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because you came over to my house.
I was with you for Christmas,
yeah.
And but what's crazy is as you know, like I've been a fucking drug addict for most of my life.
Facts.
Like 13 years old, I was already on opiates and shit. Like not just like pot, like I've been on drugs for most of my fucking life. Come October of this year, I haven't done drugs for a while, but I stopped drinking in October because I did not fucking trust myself. I was going to do some wild shit. I was going to hurt myself or somebody else. Just because I was on that fuck the world. Like if I don't have my family,
yeah,
like my son can have his baby mama or have his mother, I'm going to wall out and fucking knock somebody's block off.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not hers. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
So, like,
but
as like horrible relationships drive people to relapse, I wasn't gonna do that because I don't want to hurt myself. I want to fucking hurt somebody else. So my baby moms drove me sober, bro.
That's something you hardly ever hear. You know, it's just like I got so fucking upset with somebody that I got sober. Because I've definitely gotten way more fucked up every time I've gotten like really hurt by somebody.
Of course.
You know, because it was just the natural response. It's like, hey, don't want to feel these feelings. I'm going to go snort that. I'm going to take that and I'm going to drink that and I'm going to feel a lot better for tonight. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to do it again.
You're going to be sad again until you actually fix something.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I was always the Band-Aided guy. I was like, I don't fix shit. I just put a Band-Aid on it. And those Band-Aids are called drugs.
Yeah. But that's also the ammo for her to not reconcile with me.
Exactly, because
you know what I mean. She's like, oh well, you just spun off again. Now you're just a piece of shit again. Why would I want to get back with you? So I was doing all the things I could. Like I was spitefully cleaning the shit out of my house. You know, there's no cleaner cleaner house than an angry spouse, right? Like you just
cleaner house. Is that a real thing? Huh? No cleaner house than from an angry spouse?
I just came up with it on some Dr. Seuss shit. But like, dude,
don't talk about Dr. Seuss. He's a racist.
Oh, word?
You don't know this?
No.
What? That dude got that dead man got canceled during quarantine because everybody had so much time on their hands. Like his book, like If I Ran a Zoo and shit.
What?
I mean, the depiction of like Asian and black people and all this stuff. Like, no. I mean, it's not even like hinting at racism. I mean, it is fucking wild.
Oh
so
my gosh.
like it's that and like 3 other books where he just like full on like this is how I see these people.
Word?
Yeah, dude. And if you own those books, you could sell them for a lot of money.
I bet. But now you're peddling. Like if you had those, like you're part of the problem.
Just go to the Q boards and sell them to all the fucking, it's fine.
Dang.
But yeah, dude. So I mean, that's
So yeah, I'm like my house was super fucking clean, and I was like saving money, not because I wanted to, just because
like,
I
I'm
wanted
gonna be a fucking
I'm gonna
adult.
do better.
In
I'm
your
gonna do so much
face.
better than I was, and like
I love that you spitefully got better.
Yeah, like success is like the best revenge, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, my house is clean as fuck. I'm saving money, and I'm gonna get a new car.
You're throwing the fact that you can be an adult now in her face.
Just as hard as I can.
You know what? I woke up at 7 today.
Yeah.
I woke up at 7 a.m.
I vacuumed my
all
house
by
twice.
myself.
Yeah.
You know what time I go to bed now? 9:30.
9:30. Swear to God.
I made room. You know, I had chicken and salad for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Dude, all that. I started taking vitamins.
Yeah, a multivitamin, actually.
Yeah, I used to pop pills. Now I just pop vitamins.
You know, Flintstones doesn't only make chewables. They're delicious, though.
All that.
No, and it's good for you.
But fast forward, I never stopped loving her with all of my heart. And
That's gay.
Huh?
Nothing.
Yeah. Huh? No, like for real though, like I'll kill or die for her. That's my fucking queen, dog. And she knows that shit. But she also knows that shit.
That you'll kill her?
Kill or die. I meant that shit.
Yeah.
You know? And so like things worked out for the best, but I didn't derail my progress.
That's good.
So, like, I didn't go back to, I want to smoke weed, but I can't get past the weird parts. You know, like you're 12 again and you're like sketching the fuck out. Like, I want to smoke weed. It looks very enjoyable. And I remember I was high for 3 years once.
But honestly, like you used to smoke heavy, but honestly, you were always really bad at smoking because like this man right here had like the best and worst like police radar in his brain.
Yeah,
like we could be driving, and there could be a cop like pulled over on the other side of the freeway, and then all of a sudden he starts panicking. Just saw a cop. I just saw a cop. I'm like, dude, chill out. It's fine. He's not coming after us.
Not fine.
Or like we're like walking in the desert and he'll hear a siren and then he just starts running in the opposite direction. It was just like, dude, I know we were kids, but you fucking took it to the extreme, and it was always hilarious.
See, I need to get over that part because like when I was grown, like I'd be smoking on the way to work and shit. Like, you know, put out the doobie as soon as you pull up, put some cologne on, Visine, you're ready to go.
Yeah, but I mean, you think you're ready to go, but you still smell like weed.
I haven't smoked weed since it was legal.
Since it was recreational legal?
Yeah.
Really? That's how long it's been?
I mean, I have a couple times.
But like smoking.
No, but I haven't been a smoker since it was okay to be a smoker.
So you're just like, this isn't cool anymore.
Oh, now
it's not dangerous.
Now it's everywhere. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe it. I used to run packs to fucking Humboldt.
I know, and now you can now there's billboards and you delivery services and
oh my god, and now it's mad chill. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna smoke a little bit of weed. I take a hit. I'll just be like, yo, I got bills, bro. I have bills. Do I overshare at work? Am I a good enough dad, bro? And my mind just goes.
No, the funny thing is I do the same thing, but I only smoke at like late at night, like right before bed, and I have to time it because if I smoke like more than like an hour before bed, and then I just sit there and I get like I'll be sitting there with Natalie watching TV. And I won't even be watching TV because I'll just be going like, dude, what did I say? Was that racist? Should I have done? I mean, it just all fire, like everything. And it was just like, God, you're an idiot. But if I smoke like 30 minutes before bed, and then I just go right to sleep, I'm good. Because otherwise, like, you know, it's just haunting memories and snacking and two things that I don't want to do late at night. Yeah. Haunting memories and snacking.
Yeah. No, I'm there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I still do it.
But you got to smoke. Like, I did a little, like, after I was, like, rehab, basically. As soon as I stopped using.
Popping pills?
Popping pills. Because I fucking overdosed like an idiot.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got over that, I would smoke like literally like take a hit, zero that shit, and like put my head on my pillow. And then I'd put on meditation music, which I always do. And like the homies used to clown on me and shit. Like it would be so hard, and I'd be listening to soundscapes or mood music.
Hey man, I'd rather listen to your meditations than. There's two different types of people that meditate.
Yeah.
In my life, there's you, and then there's bright and early.
Oh, bro.
And for anybody listening, his meditations I was fine with. I hear his stupid rainfall music, and it was fine. The other guy, I would walk into my backyard at 6 a.m, and he would be laying with his asshole facing the sun, and his meditation was sunbathing his asshole.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I walked out into my backyard. And my backyard, it was just like, it was grass and dirt, and he would just be there like fully spread eagle, like bent over, and it's just like everything to the gods.
Yeah.
And and he said that it was peaceful and it calmed him, and I was like, I'm not trying to find out.
Yeah.
So maybe that is true, but
psychedelic Brighton. I lived with still on drugs Brighton.
No, I know that was too different. That was too like that's a whole different can of worms. But okay, so I want to get into some of the namesake of the podcast questions.
Yes,
the worst.
Oh man!
So I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. You're gonna tell me your worst experiences in these questions.
Yeah, quarantine when I lost my family. Fuck you, dick. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, no, you don't have to kill what's already dying. Worst night out drinking.
Oh,
I've been with you on a couple of these, but I want to know which one you remember.
I don't.
You don't?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, see, the thing is, though, is like your worst night out drinking usually happened to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you would get hammered and not remember anything.
Right. So, no, you tell me.
You would and not remember, but then I would be the one that's getting handcuffed, and I would be and I'd be sober, too.
Yeah. Like, my 21st birthday is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, your 21st birthday, I got like a $1,200 ticket. I got handcuffed and sat down on a curb. This was
I told some guy I was going to shoot him in the face.
Well, yeah. I mean, you did that too. And I
fell off a bar stool backwards and fucking smacked my head, dude.
Yeah, I had to deal with all of that shit.
Dude, how about when we went to that place? We've been going there for 3 years already. And then the bartender, she's like, happy birthday. She's like, how old are you? I'm like, 21.
She's like, what?
21? You guys have been coming here for 3 years.
Sorry, lady.
Yeah. I remember one time, because it's not, man, I remember pulling all-nighters. And then, how about like recently within the past year or so, I got shit hammered. I think my chick was out of town. She was up in Baco with her family, and I got shit ass drunk. And I woke up the next morning. I just wanted a burrito, man. And so like I went to Bob's Twin Kitchen, the dankest fucking burritos in town. I get back. I think I even copped a Starbucks on the way too. I was treating myself that morning. My family was gone. I'm hungover as dicks. And then I put all my stuff there. I go to the bathroom and puke and try to get some water in me. I come back and sit down. I'm like, I must have left it in the kitchen. I go in the kitchen. It's not there. I was like, fuck, it's probably in the living room. I go back and sit down in the living room, and my dogs ate my fucking burrito, dude. And I was just like, oh, I could have cried. It was the only thing I was looking forward to. I drug my ass super, super hungover out of the house and came back.
No, you know what? You deserve that happening for telling that story on this podcast. Shame on you.
Why?
Because it was a fucking boring story.
What?
Your conclusion to the story was your dogs ate your burrito. I'm asking you for a night out of mayhem.
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
Next. You son of a bitch.
I don't remember anything.
Worst sexual experience.
Oh, wow. So I went on a date with this girl, and everything was cool. And from the nice dinner, we went out drinking. And from drinking, we went back to my mom's house.
Yeah, dude.
and my mom's fucking trailer, and I'm still pulling baddies in my mom's trailer. So we stop at Del Taco on the way home. I'm sitting on the love seat, and this girl starts doming me out, dude. Fucking hits the gag reflex. I was like, and she, huh? I was like, oh no. I grab the bottom of the Del Taco bag, and in one swoop, just poof, throw all the food across all the living room, because I grabbed the bottom of the bag and I just slingshot that shit all over the fucking living room, and I hand her the bag, and she doesn't make it, and she pukes all over my fucking lap. So not only did I waste all the food, I now have throw up on my bare day. It all over my lap. And
see, that's a story.
Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, all right. No, I like that one. That one was funny. That was good. Oh my God, man.
I got a lot of those.
The fact that I've never heard that story makes it even better.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
That one's fantastic.
God damn
it. So like growing up, you were always Captain Save-A-Ho. You just found the most ratchet girl that shouldn't. And you were trying to tame every wild one instead of just having your one night stand or your hookups, and you're just like, no, dude, this one's gonna be wifey, dude. So out of all of them, which one's the worst relationship you've ever been in?
Oh, well, I was in like a verbally abusive relationship for like 3 years, and it was horrible. But I dated a psycho girl.
Verbally abusive. I call that foreplay.
No, she was terrible, bro. Fucking horrible. No, I dated this really rich girl, if you remember that one.
I remember that one.
And dude, it was crazy because I would like starve her. Like she didn't have any means, right? So like there was no food in the house, and we wake up in the morning, she just have like a Coors Light for breakfast, and then I'd go to work and she was just stuck at the crib. Right, so like and she was literally just surviving off like Coors Light and fucking like string cheese until I got home from work. And then when I got home from work, I wanted to like work on music and shit. She's like, "Can we go out?" And I would like palm her face and just disrespect her. Get the fuck out of my face! I'm not ready to go. So you had a prisoner. Yet. Something like that, and then I took her back to her house at the beach. She was a rich girl.
Yeah, which is mind-boggling that she didn't have her own means of transportation. But
right. So I took her back, and then like 2 days later, she showed up back at my fucking doorstep.
Lost puppy.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I just drove you 2 hours to San Diego to get the fuck out of here."
I'm back.
Surprise! I'm like, yeah, it's quite a surprise. And then, so my homie is how I met her, right? And then he keeps me updated. He's like, "Yo, you remember so-and-so?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." He's like, "She's in the loony bin." I'm like, "Word?" He's like, "Yeah, me and homegirl went to see her, and she seemed fine. Like I was about to spring her. And then out of nowhere, she gets the crazy eyes, and she's like, 'You took him from me, girl.' He's like, 'Who are you talking about?' She said, 'Kanye.' Oh. He's like, 'What the fuck are you talking about?' She's like, 'Oh, nurse, get us the fuck out of here, nurse.' And so, fast forward, I get in touch with my friend again. He's like, 'Yo, you remember homegirl?' I was like, 'Yeah, of course. With the whole Kanye thing, it's fucking wild.' He's like, 'No, bro. She got drunk at her fucking multi-million-dollar 3-story house in San Diego. Her mom caught her doing drugs, called the police. A female officer comes in and she stabs her in the kitchen.
She stabbed the cop?
She stabbed the cop, and the cop beat her ass, and now she's in prison.
Bro, you do pick the wildest people.
Mm-hmm.
She stabbed a cop.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. How much time we got left? 2 minutes? Fuck. Okay, so I was going to ask you another question, which would lead into a really long story, but instead we're just going to end with these. This is the Are You the Worst section. I'm just going to ask you a series of questions. You're going to answer yes or no. We're going to decide if you're the worst.
Okay.
Have you ever stolen from your parents?
No.
Really?
Well, just like liquor.
Well, that's stealing, dickhead.
Oh, that doesn't fucking count.
Okay. Have you ever lied to your spouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do drugs a lot.
I know. Have you ever been a bully?
Yeah, dude. I saw the girl like 20 years later in Stater Brothers, and I gave her a hug and sincerely apologized.
Do you want to tell the beginning of this? Which girl? What happened?
Her name was Leanna Valenzuela, and in 7th grade, I set her up to dog her the fuck out in PE class. And I was like, yo, when I say something, just say sure, okay? She said, okay. And I said, hey, Leanna, you want to go to the movie? She said, okay. I said, then find somebody who wants to go with you. And then the whole class was like, oh. And it hurt her feelings. Grade thing. It hurt her feelings so bad. And I felt like such a fucking cocksucker. And then I saw her in Stater Brothers as a grown-up and sincerely apologized and asked if I could give her a hug, and she accepted.
God damn it. Have you ever cheated on someone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Multiple times?
No. I mean, I wouldn't cheat on my baby moms or on my girlfriends. Yeah.
No, yeah. Have you ever been a bad friend?
I think so.
I know so.
Yeah. Not to you.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Okay, so honestly, I don't think that you're the worst because, I mean, you claim you haven't stolen from your parents and you apologize to somebody 20 years later. That's something I would never do. Well,
you're a dick. I mean, it's kind of your thing.
But hey, but still, like I don't have the. I know this about myself is I don't have the mental growth. I'm still very much so.
Oh, dude, it broke my heart when I saw that girl, bro.
But I do have a similar story about like being young and teasing somebody and then seeing them later, but all I did was duck out the back.
Oh my god.
Okay. I'll say her name was Nissa Crane. She was partially deaf.
Oh my god.
We were in 4th grade, and I made fun of her at lunch because she didn't have socks on with her shoes, and I thought that made you poor. Now I don't wear socks all the time.
Yeah.
And but see, back then I actually was poor, so I think I was just projecting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that happened, and then I saw her a few years later, and I was walking into a store, and I saw her, and then I just turned around and walked out, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the store down the street. But yeah.
Oh no.
So, anyways, thank you for coming.
Word.
I think we've reached our time.
Okay.
This has been The Worst with Chad Austin. Do you want to tell anybody where to find you if they can find you on the medias of social?
Nolan Lowlife, all major platforms. Spotify. Just Google me, man. I'm everywhere. YouTube. I don't know. I'm all over the place.
Before there was a lot of social medias, Nolan used to walk up to people and just say, Nolan Lowlife, Google me, bitch.
Yeah. And then I had business cards. And I started saying the same shit.
But yeah, so thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.